You join me inside the Maserati MC20, a supercar that I think is criminally underrated. When I grew up, I didn't really think of Maserati as a supercar brand. I didn't really know where their new cars sat in the market. I suppose luxury with a bit of sportiness here and there, but I didn't quite know. They did though bring out the MC12 in 2004, and that of course was the Enzo rival, which is massive for Maserati. Two iconic cars, the MC12 and the Enzo going side by side. However, they have recently brought a new supercar out, and it's right here. You've probably already seen this bright yellow thing here, and it is the Maserati MC20. If you've watched my content before, you'll know that I'm obsessed with how a car looks on the inside and out. So let's start with that on the MC20. Now, there are no spoilers here. I love the design of this car. Just look at it. Every single angle I will show you, it looks quality. Of course, the butterfly doors are open right now. They are massive. And wow, it looks like the car is about to take off. Insane for Maserati. Then we look at the wheels. We've got the ceramic carbon brakes. Oh, that looks good there. The doors are up. I mean, carbon fibre everywhere. We've even got marble carbon fibre here, which is a little bit like forged carbon fibre. As we move around here, we've actually got my favourite feature of the car, probably just after the doors actually, which is this, the Trident engine bay cover, which is the same as a Maserati logo, which you can actually see there in the engine. Now, if we move around a little bit more, you'll see the rear of the car, the dual exhaust. Oh, what a looker. The colour on this, you're probably thinking, wow, it is beautiful, and it certainly is. It's Giallo Genio, is how you pronounce it, I believe. And of course it looks yellow in most angles of the car, but you might already see here when I turn around, especially there is an iridescent blue tint in it as well. And at night, and in different lighting, it really, really pops. Now I'll show you this later on in the video. Now you join me inside, you can see the Alcantara and the speakers there in the door. Let me get in here. Now I think this interior is going to age seriously well, because Maserati have not overcomplicated it, but they've also not made it super simple. There's carbon fibre here on the steering wheel, along with the start stop and the launch button, which is a lot of fun in Corsa mode. In the middle console here, centre console, we have more carbon fibre. This is where you control the driving modes. We've got a small little screen here, which is not too big, but it's not too small. We control things such as Apple CarPlay and a few other bits too. Better for longer journeys there. If I move to the left-hand side, we've got the MC20, the Italian logo there, which looks amazing. Move around here just to finish off inside, and we've got the yellow stitching in the seats. Bravo, bravo, Maserati. Under the hood is a turbocharged V6 from Maserati. No hybrid system, no electric system. This is a proper supercar from the Italian brand. I've mentioned the MC20 has a V6 in it, so it's a proper supercar from Maserati. And let me tell you a bit more. So it actually packs 621 horsepower, to be precise, 0 to 60 in just 2.9 seconds. So yes, this thing is rapid, and yes, it's a lot of fun. So let's talk about the driving modes now. There are 4 driving modes on the MC20 that every driver has available. Wet, I mean, let's not talk about that, we don't need to go into that in much detail. We then have GT. In GT, I genuinely think, and I do believe this, you could daily the MC20 in GT mode. It is that usable, but of course it's also punchy as well. We then have Sport, the next one up, and then Corsa. In Sport, it's obviously another beast. In Corsa, it's a different beast. What a machine in Corsa. Have 2 hands on steering wheel at all times in that mode. There is also a launch button that only comes active in Corsa mode. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Now I've told you I generally think you can daily the MC20 in GT mode, I should probably show you the space, the luggage space or the storage space you have to deal with. In the front, not much is the answer, not much at all. These are a few bits of Maserati to help keep me safe while I have the car, but yeah, you can't really fit anything in there. Maybe a couple of pizzas, a takeaway, but that's about it. Now coming around the back of the car, we do have a slightly bigger boot here, and you can fit maybe a work bag, no suitcases, but maybe a weekend bag or a work bag in there. And inside there quite literally is no space at all. Check out the colour at night. Of course it's a giallo yellow, but look at that blue tint. In certain angles of the car it pops. You move this way and you can even see it here as well on the front of the car. That is pretty cool stuff from Maserati. And there it is, hidden now at the front of the car. While I do love the butterfly doors on this car, they aren't very convenient at times. Look at this, just in a normal space here in London, in Belgravia, and look at the door when it opens. It has seriously big wingspan, which makes it pretty hard getting out of tight spaces. Trust me, I've experienced it in a car park already with this car, and even at the petrol station, it's so hard to get out of. You have to park much further away from the petrol pump than usual. Hilarious. So why do I think the MC20 is criminally underrated? For me, there's two reasons why people overlook this car. Maserati themselves, as I mentioned, haven't bought a real supercar out for 20 years, so people don't really associate the brand with supercars. Now, of course, they bought the Gran Turismo out, which was more of a cruiser, more of a GT, but this car is in a different league to that. Now, at 190k brand new, which is what these are and what these start at, you are then comparing it to Lamborghinis, Ferraris, McLarens as well. And I think that's where Maserati have a bit of a problem, because when people have £200,000 to spend on a supercar, you probably look at those brands first. Now, where I think Maserati lack compared to those brands I've just mentioned, the sound. The sound is something that stood out to me, and I do think for a £200,000 car, the sound on the MC20 isn't amazing. It's good, it sounds great, but the other cars in this league sound a hell of a lot better. One other thing I have to mention is the indicators. I don't know if you can hear them, pick them up on the camera, sound a bit tinny, which again you wouldn't expect in a car of this level. But anyway, forget about that. This is a serious supercar from Maserati. It's lightweight, it's sporty, it feels like a proper car. The interior build quality, as you can imagine, is well up there. Honestly, if you're looking at a supercar in this range, you have to consider this unbelievably looking MC20.